The following program is a production of Pioneer Public Television.
The State Fair. It's a highlight of summer here in Minnesota, and everyone has their favorite part. One favorite part for many people is seeing what 4-H'ers have brought to the fair. These kids come from around the state to exhibit animals, show projects, give demonstrations, perform on the stage, and much, much more. Today we'll take a look at what some of these smart and talented kids have been coming up with and learn a little bit about 4-H along the way.
Welcome to the Great Minnesota Get Together. I'm Libby Tate, and I hope that you'll join us for all things 4-H at the fair.
4-H at the Minnesota State Fair is made possible through the support of CHS, a global agribusiness owned by farmers, ranchers, and cooperatives across the United States. Minnesota Farmers Union, standing for agriculture, fighting for farmers, on the web at mfu.org. Minnesota Corn Growers Association, since 1978, dedicated to identifying and promoting opportunities for Minnesota corn farmers while enhancing the quality of life. For nearly 90 years, Minnesota Farm Bureau has been working to preserve, promote, and strengthen American agriculture and share in the vision of strength and vitality for our communities. Additional support provided by Minnesota soybean farmers and their checkoff, proud to support the development of tomorrow's ag leaders who will help produce safe, healthy, and affordable food while protecting the state's natural resources.
4-H started with a strong focus on agriculture, and that's still important in 4-H today. Nearly 3,000 animals are brought to the fair each year by 4-H'ers, where kids demonstrate the knowledge and experience they've gained in raising their animals. Bringing an animal to the state fair is a lot of work, but these 4-H'ers seem to think it's worth it. We started off our day with a quick chat with Paige Netzke from Redwood County with her beef cattle steer project, Pretty Boy patiently standing by.
My steer was born in March. I showed him at our county fair and a couple open shows throughout the summer. We've done very well. And then at the 4-H show, we were reserve grand champion prospect calf.
Wow. Okay, that means that there's lots of years ahead of you, right?
I have 1 year left. I actually graduated this year, and I'm attending the University of Minnesota for pre-veterinary medicine.
And so what kind of impact has 4-H had on your decision to go into pre-vet?
4-H has helped me because I decided, I love animals. I really want to help them. And I decided I wanted to be a production animal vet because then I could help the animals that I've shown throughout my 4-H career, like not only beef, but sheep and swine also.
Okay, so large animal. All right. So I understand, I hear from everyone that you have not only your regular family, but you've got a really special family too. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I have my stock show family. They're actually people that I've met throughout the state or even the country. I have a lot of friends from Iowa or Missouri. And they've meant so much to me because they've always supported me throughout my 4-H career, and they'll go down to the show ring with me or help me get them ready, and they're always there for me no matter what.
Well, Pretty Boy, thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you very much for joining us too, Paige. And hey, good luck next year in your final year. I'm so excited. I'm heading down to the Ag Star Pavilion, where I'm hoping to be able to find the winners of the Dairy Showcase. For those of you that don't know, the Dairy Showcase is the best of the best in the dairy industry when it comes to youth and 4-H.
Only exhibitors who receive a purple or blue ribbon are eligible. Then they're scored based on project leadership, dairy-related activities, and community involvement. At this prestigious ceremony, we ran into the winners, Carly and Caleb Vinkemeyer.
So I hear this year is pretty unique because we have a brother-sister team that won first and second, right? What happened in there?
Well, the top 25 dairy showmen, or not dairy showmen, but we filled out applications, and we were the top 25 chosen.
From all the dairy exhibitors?
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive. And so then you filled out an application, and then they took the culmination of all your accomplishments here?
Yep, all of our accomplishments here, and then throughout the year that involved dairy.
So what other things count? I mean, what were you involved in?
I was involved in Dairy Quiz Bowl and in dairy judging, and then also other type of community projects that you participate in.
Now, I have sort of a little inside scoop here on Caleb. I hear that speaking of important dairy things throughout the year, you started a dairy camp, is that right? Or
Yeah.
dairy day?
Yeah, we had a Dairy Day camp for kids in our county that we held at our farm, where the kids got to learn how to wash, fit, and show their animals, and then we let them lead around some of the calves that we had.
That is very impressive. I would count that pretty high if I were judging. So now you did that at the ripe age of...
I did that when I was 14.
When you were 14, you did that. Wow. Well, congratulations, you two. I'm so excited for you. And where are you planning on using your scholarship money?
My scholarship money is going to go towards school because I'm going to be a senior this year, so next year I need money for college.
Yes, you do. Well, good luck with that, and good luck to you guys.
While we were at the Dairy Showcase, we caught up with Audrey Lane from Dakota County, who graciously gave us some time before she had to load up her animal to tell us how 4-H has impacted her plans for the future.
I understand that biology is a love of yours.
Yeah, you know, as a kid, I always did really like biology, but I wasn't really sure exactly what I wanted to do with it. My sophomore year of high school, I took AP Biology, where we spent a lot of time studying Punnett squares and pedigrees, which I wasn't super into until that summer. I was completing my net merit value for my dairy cattle, and I got to see how her pedigree and how her genetics was so important, not only to how she looks as an animal, but also to her value as a piece of, also to her value. So
okay, well, so that's how you got involved in
yeah.
this piece of it. So now you're going to take that to the university.
That's right. This fall I will be a sophomore at the University of Minnesota, where I am studying genetics, cell biology, and development. I just really like how 4-H gave me the opportunity to see what I learned in the books actually being applied in the real world.
Very cool. So with that then, what are the things you're looking at possibly doing in the future? Any ideas? I mean, it's early.
You know, that's what I like about my major is there's a lot of different things I can do with it. You know, it does meet the requirements for medical school, so it could qualify me to apply for that. There's also opportunities to go on and serve as like a genetic counselor and help people with genetic abnormalities. You could also go into something a little bit more agriculturally based with like breeding of livestock, or even so far as helping to create new genetically modified organisms.
So if you had one thing to tell a young child who's thinking about getting involved in 4-H, what would it be?
Jump in wholeheartedly. You know, if you kind of stand on the edge of a project area and just submit one thing every year and don't go all the way in, you're not going to get out as much out of it as you can. So it's when you get super involved in a project. You know, you don't just show a cow, you also join your county judging team, or you don't just have one piece of photography, but you also do multiple. I think it's when you get really involved in it that you get the most out of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Looks like you've gotten a lot out of it.
We were in the poultry building when I turned around and, to my surprise, saw an old friend from when I was in 4-H, Mark Otto.
Yeah, hi, Libby.
Nice to see you again. I couldn't believe running into you. And also my surprise to find out that his son is also huge in 4-H. So I was telling him that we were shooting a documentary, and I wanted him to, as a 4-H alum, tell everyone out there how 4-H, some 20-some years later, we won't say the exact number.
Good.
But 20-some years later, how has it affected your life for the last 20 years?
You know, after graduating from 4-H, which is a big transition, you struggle a little bit figuring out where you're going to go and how you're going to put this, how you're going to figure out your path. And 4-H has set you on that road. It's giving you the foundation that you need. And I started off, you know, like everybody does, finished my schoolwork in political science and began looking for work. I came back to the fair to work as an exhibit assistant, and then eventually as the first floor exhibit coordinator here at the Minnesota State Fair. And I did that for about 2 or 3 years until my wife graduated from school. And then I found work in youth development in Washington, D.C.
Okay, so 4-H in D.C.
So 4-H in D.C. But what I did was I was a technology coordinator for a project that served military, soldiers and families and their dependents around the world. And we developed youth development programs that had a 4-H connection that supported families staying connected with their children while they're overseas, if they're deployed, help them to maintain connections with positive youth development and keep kids out of trouble while they're on the installation. So I did that for about 15 years. We moved home when our children were old enough to join 4-H, but also start school. We really wanted to get back to our roots, back to where our families were, and give them the opportunity to live in a place that we were familiar with and have similar experiences. And we knew 4-H gave them those kinds of foundations. So when my son August was old enough to join, we got him into 4-H, eventually signed up into the poultry project, and kind of the rest became history.
So with you, what has 4-H done for you?
It's been a really incredible ride ever since. I mean, like, Dad got me involved in kindergarten, and I'm grateful for that ever since. I made so many friends, so many people I've met through animals, through general exhibits, staying in the 4-H Hilton, we like to call it, and in other dorms, and meeting new people, learning to speak well, being able to speak in front of others, doing demonstrations. These 2 summers ago, I was the Prince of Poultry, and so that all came about because of 4-H, so it's been awesome.
So what of all those skills, what are you going to take with you most? What's most
College, making friends is going to be really important.
You seem fairly social.
I'd like to think I am, but yeah, making friends is going to be really important, especially in these first few weeks, being a new college student, but also just being able to talk and get my views across and, I don't know, being a good kid.
Well, great. Well, I'm so excited to see what you do with your life. It sounds like you've been incredibly successful. It's so fun to catch up.
We've been very happy and very fortunate here with Minnesota 4-H. It establishes excellent foundations for these kids, helps them to build the kind of rapport that they can with their colleagues, but also those life skills, being a good citizen, being able to speak in public, being able to understand different points of view, and pulls it all together for them in a nice package.
Awesome. I couldn't have said it better. Thank you guys. So good to see you, Mark.
Problem.
Nice to meet you. Austin, good luck at school. Many people don't know that the 4-H's stand for Head for Clearer Thinking, Heart for Greater Loyalty, Hands for Larger Service, and Health for Better Living. For my family, my club, my community, my country, and my world. I was looking for a community segment, and I just happened to run across Sam Johnson here. He is perfect when it comes to community. He's got some great stories to tell us. So Sam, if you just tell everyone who you are, where you're from.
I'm Sam Johnson from the Myrtle 4-H Club down in Freeborn County, originally from Glenville, Minnesota.
Okay, Glenville, Minnesota. So I have heard from other folks in your area that you are quite the community giver, right? So tell us a little bit about what you've done in your community.
Well, our club is formed around of a small town where it used to be Deer Creek. It used to be a small town down there with a creamery.
Okay.
And the creamery was kind of decaying and the chimney with it, so we took the chimney down and we used the bricks from the chimney to make a patio and to make a flower bed for people in our community to come and have family events if they needed, just to come and kind of hang out. So we have a fire pit, some flower beds for people, and then we also have the bricks from the old chimney to kind of represent what the creamery was to the old town.
Wow, so you use reclaimed bricks to create this beautiful gathering space. So what's been the response? Has it been used?
We used it a lot for our club meetings, and the family that owns the property definitely comes down there once in a while to do some family gatherings, as well as a local church that is nearby. Uses that for church services when it's nice outside, as well as different potlucks that they have throughout the church in the year.
Okay, so I understand too that it's in memory of someone special.
We had a longtime member of our 4-H club owns the land and the creamery that was there, and then is built in memory of him.
Very cool. So with the community part, what does the 4-H pledge mean to you? It means a lot to me. I'm a former 4-H'er. What does it mean to you?
The 4-H pledge just means that it's developing the youth in more ways than people really know, having the 4 compartments of head, health, hands, and heart, and it's just helping them develop in all aspects of themselves, and not only themselves, but then their community around them, which is where the hands come in.
Very cool. It seems like you have the emotional part down too. You seem fairly passionate.
Yeah, agriculture is something that I've grew up with my whole life and has been very passionate about. And then 4-H also helps with the leadership of students, which, without the leadership, we wouldn't have the amazing people that we have in the world today.
Absolutely. So speaking of amazing people, what are you going to be doing to make yourself amazing as an adult? Where are you going?
Well, I will be attending South Dakota State University this fall for ag business, and then pick up pre-law and become an ag lawyer to fight for the American agriculturalists.
Wow, that's pretty aggressive. That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Thanks so much for joining us, and keep going in the community. We need you. Barns are only half the story of 4-H at the fair. Now let's head to the east side of the grounds to the famous 4-H building.
Over 320,000 people visit the 4-H building each year. That's 1 in every 5 fairgoers. 4-Hers from all over the state bring exhibits that won purple ribbons at their county fair to be shown at the state fair. The arts and performances are also a popular event in the 4-H building, having almost 300 participants and showing 4 times a day. Also on the stage is the Performing Arts Showcase, where we saw a fantastic dance act by Kaylin Sweet from Olmsted County.
And so Miss Kaylin just put on just an incredible performance.
Thank you so much.
We really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
And so we have to find out, you're from Olmsted County.
Yes.
And you also have a dairy project.
I'm not here at the state fair. Okay. I showed rabbits, but I also do dairy. I work on a dairy farm part-time. So
can you tell me about your perspective of 4-H? I mean, you do sort of everything.
I do a little bit of everything. I put in 10 to 15 projects every year. 4-H it's an amazing thing. There's everything from, the canning and the cows to dancing and singing. There's photography. There's you can buy an outfit and make a book and put it in. There's just so much to do. There's something for every kid. It's really, really versatile.
So let's talk about your versatility here, going from the barns to here. So tell me a little bit about your dancing. What is this particular dance that you did for us?
This is a Middle Eastern cabaret dance. I used fan veils as a prop, so they're a non-traditional prop. They originate in Asia, but I really love them personally. I think the silk fans are just gorgeous, and they're fun to use too.
So how long have you been in 4-H?
I've been in 4-H since 5th grade, so that's 7 years now.
Okay.
I love it. It's amazing. Every year I learn something new. I'm really working hard. I'm hoping to become president of my club this year. Good. So I'm really working hard at it. I just think this is an amazing program. I learn so much, and it's so much fun. The kids you meet, the chaperones you meet, just the people you meet, going to state fair, it's so much fun.
Performing arts includes everything from juggling. We saw some incredible singers out there, some killer pianists.
There's juggling, there's speeches, there's the singers. There was a kid who does yo-yo, and he's amazing. Wow. I wish he was here today. But he does this yo-yo thing, and then his little brother juggles. There's rappers that come in, and then there's dancers. There's, hip-hop dancers and stuff like that, too. Cool. There's just everything under the moon of, performance arts. If you can perform it, then it can be on stage.
Very cool, very cool. Well, thank you so much. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your talent with us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Outside the 4-H building, we caught up with Tyler Amick from Mower County, who was crowned Poultry Prince just the day before.
4-H has created lots of great partnerships over the years. One recent partnership that we'd like to explore today is with Golden Plump. And so we happen to have Tyler here, who is the Prince of Poultry. And I'd love to know more about the 4-H and Golden Plump partnership.
It's a really great opportunity. Golden Plump and 4-H have partnered to create the Poultry Prince and Princess scholarship competition. This year it was absolutely great working with Golden Plump and 4-H.
So what things are you going to be doing throughout the year as Poultry Prince?
As Poultry Prince, I'm going to be appearing in parades and doing interviews on poultry and on the scholarship program.
Okay, so basically a youth mentor, if you will.
A youth ambassador for the program.
Great. And you're also a 4-H ambassador, I see. State 4-H Ambi.
Yep.
So what's that all entail?
The Minnesota 4-H State Ambassador Program is a program to give youth the opportunity to represent 4-H at the state level. There's a team selected from 25 to 30 ambassadors each year, and we work at the state fairgrounds to help pull off state fair, and then we work throughout the year to develop different seminars, including Blue and Yellow, which are focusing on leadership and responsibility and participation in the civic role.
Okay, very cool. So how do you think 4-H has prepared you for your role this coming year? You're going to be out in the media quite a bit.
Yeah, I feel that 4-H has given me all the tools necessary to continue in this role as the 2014 Poultry Prince. I've grown up through 4-H, and the leadership opportunities offered there are great, and the experience that I've gained is amazing. I wouldn't have trained in my service with 4-H for anything.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations. Good luck
Thank
this
you.
year. Have fun in both your roles. Back inside, I wanted to find out what 4-H as an organization hopes to accomplish for young people. We met Dorothy Freeman, who serves as director for 4-H in Minnesota.
We've learned that we don't have enough scientists prepared for our workforce, and more importantly, we don't have enough ag scientists. So 4-H has embarked upon two distinct pieces of work related around science.
Cool.
The general science that you see, the Rube Goldbergs here, where young people are learning how to create challenges, create their innovations to challenges that have been presented. As well as you'll see in this building a drone flying in here. And that's a part of our agriculture challenge that we are going to be embarking upon over the next year. Because it's important to help young people to learn critical thinking skills, to learn problem-solving skills, to learn how to work in teams with people different than themselves. And this is what 4-H is about. It's about the process of engaging young people so that they learn the skills that our workforce want them to have. And we see a lot of times that we see the project, but that's the tools. And it's amazing to watch young people challenge themselves and ask, why didn't that work this time? What can we do differently to make that work? And then they may consult with an adult and say, well, what do you think? But they themselves make the choice about what they do.
Well, and it's all about, too, later on, giving them the tools now to be successful. So those same partners that we're working with to help find employees, hopefully our folks can be their employees then, too.
Yes, and so we want them to engage these young people with industry. We want them to seek out the partners to be the experts for our young people. And those experts, not to tell them what to do, but those experts learn to ask young people questions so young people can come to their own solutions around some of the issues.
Excellent. You're always such a pleasure to have. You state it and you say it perfectly.
Well, thank you so very much.
Thank you for joining us again.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks. The Rube Goldberg Engineering Design Challenge was the highlighted event this year. Each team had to build an overly complex contraption to do a simple task: zip a zipper closed. I met up with one of the teams just after the day's judging results. The Gold Award winners of the day, the R6M Crafters team. Can you guys introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
I'm Micaiah. I'm from New Prague. I'm Ben Capra. I'm from Scott County.
I'm Cole Burnett. This is Jared Burnett.
We're brothers, and we're from Scott County.
And this is a Scott and LeSueur County team, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your project here. I mean, this is really cool. It's very intense. It's very intense. Where did you guys come up with this idea?
Brainstorming, lots and lots of brainstorming.
Yeah.
We did like a whole bunch of test runs and stuff. Like, we wanted to do dominoes, but then since we didn't want them to reset them over and over again, so we put hinges on the wooden dominoes over there, so we could just flick them up and we don't have to like set them up.
Cool. Okay, well, let's dive into this thing. I want to find out what's going on. So can you guys teach us the different aspects of what's going on here?
You go first.
So what happens is that Jarrett blows the train. That train comes down, hits this block, hits that block, and it hits that block, that hits block. The snail comes and hits that. It goes down.
So that's
going
to be right there, perfect.
Yeah.
Right? Like it can't be off at all.
Screw right on under it that it sits on.
Okay.
So the smart is going to run down here. It's going to run into this thing, and it's actually being pulled up by magnets. And as it comes back down around, it's going to hit that needle, popping the balloon, which triggers a string to activate those cans.
Those cans fall down in a chain reaction, eventually hit that can, which knocks down that pole.
That pole right there, it'll let go of the can, pulling out this piece because they're connected, and then it pulls this out, and then it just zips the zipper.
Okay, and that's the whole thing about this year's project, right? Is that you have to zip a zipper.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And there's also a theme.
Is there a
toys? We didn't do a theme very well. We just said it was toys because it.
I think it looks like a toy theme.
There's a train. There's models.
Toys.
Yep.
It's totally toys. I
Yes.
love it. Okay. So can we see this thing run, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Get over there.
You
do.
human fan.
The human fan.
The human fan.
Okay, everything looks perfectly ready.
5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
Oh, the magnet elevator is my favorite. Oh! Woo! That was intense, you guys. So what's the best part of doing all this? What was the best part of the whole project?
Building it.
Building it?
Building it was really, really fun. For me, it was making the poster.
Everybody has their thing. Well, you guys, congratulations. Thank you so much for being here, and best of luck.
We'll be back next year.
Be back next year, buddy. Thank you. 4-H is such a multifaceted program. Kids can choose to grow their potential in whatever way they choose. From raising animals and showing them, to performing on stage, to flying a drone, sewing a costume, making a project in wood carving, nutrition, photography, gardening. The list goes on and on. Through the activities and programs of 4-H, kids learn the skills that they need to be our future leaders and responsible citizens. It's been a big day at the fair for our 4-H volunteers, members, and staff. But hey, it's just another day at the fair, right? Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next year. Learn more about 4-H online or visit us in your area at your local University of Minnesota Extension and Outreach Center. Visit pioneer.org/4H to watch this program online and catch the full interviews of each 4-H'er.
4-H at the Minnesota State Fair is made possible through the support of CHS, a global agribusiness owned by farmers, ranchers, and cooperatives across the United States. Minnesota Farmers Union, standing for agriculture, fighting for farmers, on the web at mfu.org. Minnesota Corn Growers Association, since 1978, dedicated to identifying and promoting opportunities for Minnesota corn farmers while enhancing the quality of life. For nearly 90 years, Minnesota Farm Bureau has been working to preserve, promote, and strengthen American agriculture and share in the vision of strength and vitality for our communities. Additional support provided by Minnesota soybean farmers and their checkoff, proud to support the development of tomorrow's ag leaders who will help produce safe, healthy, and affordable food while protecting the state's natural resources.